Good morning and welcome to the Celebrate Podcast. I'm Lisa McGarry.
I'm Della Tootin.
And we want to thank you all for watching live on YouTube and Facebook. Today, we also want to thank Elio with Fiesta Media for producing our podcast every week. And we are lucky to have Dr. Bob Ruano from Innovative Back Solutions with us today to talk about chiropractic care and CrossFit games and I don't know, all the fun stuff that Bob does. So we're really excited to have him.
Yes, all the deep, dark history of life.
Yeah, well, I'm the excited one here. This is fantastic. You guys have put together a pretty cool program here, so I'm glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Thank you, Bob. Yeah. So, Bob, thanks for being with us today. We kind of wanted to have you on to talk about chiropractic care. You are our good friend, and we'd like to mention that we do have other chiropractic friends, as you know, just like you refer to us a lot. But
so do I.
Right. Yeah. Well, you refer to us, but you refer to other medical providers as well, and we like to. Kind of say that so people don't feel left out.
Sure.
And have hurt feelings. So
no. We've got a really good community. We're pretty tight as practitioners. It's not a competition thing for the most part.
There's plenty for everybody, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So how long have you been a chiropractor? These are things I don't know. I'm kind of excited. I'll be learning all this.
I just turned 25 years old, so I've been practicing
like
a year and a half,
3 years.
Yeah, I guess since '98. So however long ago that was.
That's awesome.
Couple of
23?
decades. Is that 23 years?
23.
Sorry,
That's
Bob.
crazy,
I made
Bob.
you say that out loud. I apologize. I was just trying to put you out there as an expert with all your amazing experience,
well,
right?
There you go.
So I wasn't trying to do.
You see a lot in 23 years, I suppose, huh?
Yes,
sure.
That's good experience. I would rather have somebody with 23 years experience than 5 minutes. I mean, that's important to have somebody who's that experienced on your side.
I agree. Okay.
So you feel better?
I'll take that, yeah.
So, Bob, you are originally from Pittsburgh.
That's right.
Right?
PA, yeah.
PA. And you went to school up there?
So, undergraduate at West Virginia University, and then I started heading south, went down to Atlanta, Chiropractic College, Life University there in Marietta.
Yep.
And then finally, my final stop was here in Gainesville.
Yeah, and a lot of your family has migrated this way as well.
It just turned out that way, yeah.
That's awesome.
First grandparents, and then my mom, and then some brothers went to UF here, and so we're all down here now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about life, family, kids.
Got a lot of kids. So we've got 5, a blended family of 5 boys from the ages of 8 to almost 16.
Wow.
So it's very quiet.
It's a lot of testosterone.
The house smells like
Food.
Poor Farrah.
yeah, it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
I think that you guys make it look pretty easy and seamless. You do a good job.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You never know what's in the bottle.
Right. It's true.
We like our clear liquids, tequilas. But no, it's they're really good actually. It's not as bad as it sounds.
Yeah. Well, when you talk about the weekends, it's amazing all the activities you have going on. But I've actually been in your house, and I have to say I'm impressed. You
It's
guys
not too bad, right?
You run a tight ship. It's organized. It's clean. It's and with that many boys, I don't even know. So you're amazing.
I appreciate
and
that.
And Farrah's amazing.
Yes, of course. I'm just there for the comic relief, and she actually keeps things going over there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what areas, back to chiropractic care, tell us about that.
So, I mean, the way chiropractic in general, I think there's a lot of misconceptions about what it is we do. I think most are under the impression we try to line everybody up nice and straight. It seems like it should make sense, and we perpetuate that by saying things like, you should get your spine aligned. But the fact of the matter is, as you guys know, everyone has twists and turns to their back, and they function perfectly fine. So we're really more concerned with how are those joints articulating. We have these joints, one stacking upon the other, and they have to be very protective, of course, of the spinal cord, which is traversing the entire column. But at the same time, they have to have a lot of mobility so we can bend, twist, and turn without injuring ourselves every time we decide to move. And so the only time we'd ever, quote, adjust somebody is if one or more of those joints get stuck. And they get stuck for a variety of reasons, but most commonly I think sustained poor posturing,
Yeah.
What do you mean?
what are you
I feel
talking
judged,
about?
Bob.
Repetitive motion, and trauma, of course. But and so when these joints start to lock down, then because our bodies are very resilient, the joint above it and or below it will end up doing more work, and that's fine. But when something starts to get overworked, it eventually becomes inflamed, and if that inflammation continues and that inflammation get congested, it creates swelling, and now it's the swelling really that puts the pressure on the nerves that creates those pain symptoms, and that's why we pop ibuprofen or prednisone or get cortisone injections. It's to reduce the
Looking at me
swelling.
with prednisone.
Yeah, it's prednisone.
Yeah.
Love some
Got a little
prednisone.
history with prednisone.
You guys go way back.
Well, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You can't live on this planet this long without enduring some sort of injury. But anyway, and so once the swelling reduces, then all of a sudden you feel better. You might not necessarily be functioning or moving better, but you feel better until it builds back up again. So really, that's our entire purpose: to evaluate the spine or extraspinal joints. If we find some areas that are jammed up, free them up, and that's it. The body does the rest.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. You help a lot of our patients that have things like sinus issues, neck pain, headaches.
Vertigo.
Vertigo is a huge problem, and you've been able to really help with
Low
those
back
areas.
pain.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I mean, like sort of the non-neck or back pain issues. Again, I don't really fix anything. All I'm doing is just helping or
The body heal
improving
itself.
exactly, and improving the functionality of the spine, and then the body does its rest. And I know that's how you guys practice. Like, find what is the minimal effective dose to help that patient, instead of just overloading them with every medication that we're marketed to, and just see what works. So less of that shotgun approach and more of like a slow
Very personalized.
drip. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
awesome. Yeah, so, all right, let's talk about CrossFit.
All right.
All right, I know this is your favorite topic. Tell us a little bit about like how you got here, what got you into this. Like, I don't know all these backstories. I'm sure Della does, but I don't.
So, I mean, this has probably been 7 or 8 years ago. It was just I've always been like, I like exercise.
But you were a gymnast, right?
I was a
long
gymnast.
time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. And so I've always liked lifting and and exercise, and so it's just kind of like been my hobby. And then I think it was in 2013, I was watching ESPN and I saw the CrossFit Games. I saw these guys, they were like lifting like med balls and climbing over haystacks. It was like American Ninja Warrior and some sort of a strongman competition. I'm like, that looks like a lot of fun. And that's all I knew of it. So they had they have a main website, and so I just poured through all these different videos and exercises, and in my backyard kind of created this this outdoor gym. My neighbors loved me. They loved me. Slamming weights down, lots of loud noises. In the backyard looking like some sort of military compound. But anyway, and I guess I found I had a certain set of skills that I could utilize in CrossFit, and the next thing you know, I made it to the CrossFit Games, but not before I ruptured my Achilles.
That's not good.
That wasn't good. So I ruptured my Achilles in I think it was June of 2014. But then so I thought, all right, well, CrossFit Games are done for another season. But as it turns out, because I couldn't do anything lower body, but I could do a lot of pull-ups, I could do rope climbs, I could do handstand push-ups, and all those, as it turns out, were critical in the upcoming season. So I ended up making it to the CrossFit Games that first year,
Wow.
like about a year after the Achilles rupture.
That's awesome. So, is it exciting and fun and scary and all that stuff when you go?
It is. It is. I remember the first year, showing up. You're in athlete registration, and I'm, looking at the guys in front of me and behind me, and these guys are
Intimidating.
monsters. Yeah, I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? Get my ass kicked.
How did I get here?
But it was a great experience, and everybody is like incredibly humble, and it's one thing. And I've made a lot of like really close friends, literally around the world, just because of that sport and this hobby. Yeah. And it's a hobby. There's no money involved in this thing whatsoever at my level. So
That's awesome.
I've enjoyed it. It doesn't come without
Yep.
Some physical cost.
Yeah.
I mentioned the Achilles, but what else have I ruptured? The meniscus.
Didn't you have some kind of elbow thing?
I did. I tore my
Tendinitis?
extensor tendon.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That did really well with PRP.
It did?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I tore my lat from my humerus, so that
What?
it doesn't connect on that right side. So,
Oh.
but again,
fine.
the body is very resilient. So I couldn't do a pull up. I couldn't do a single pull up for about 6 months. And then all of a sudden, my body
it
figured a way.
adapted
Yeah, it
other
figured a way
muscles.
how to
Created new pathways.
Isn't that
exactly.
awesome?
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
But it looks like a shark bite. Like I
So
lift my arms
it's-
up, you see this big divot.
Wow.
Yeah, I talked to Dr. Farmer about it, the UF surgeon. He's like, to be honest, I've never worked a case. I've seen 3 in my life, and they were all like major league pitchers, and so they had it done. And he's like, so there's really no data out there whether you reattach a lat or not, or just rehab it, what has better outcome. So I didn't do anything.
You just made it work.
I just made it work.
Yeah.
Adaptable.
If you're not gonna be smart, then you better be tough, right?
It's
Love it.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you started out doing that, did you train with other people, or have you always did you find
No,
anybody?
I mean, I enjoy training with other people, but
Yeah.
for the most part, particularly because of my schedule, which is a grueling schedule.
Don't talk to me. I need you to zip it, Bob, like right now.
You have a fantastic schedule.
You have the most amazing schedule.
Well,
so.
and I'll tell you, and I tell all of you this. If you love what you do, if you enjoy what you want to do it as long as you possibly can. So the idea of like retirement where I don't go to work, I don't work with people, I don't know, that doesn't sound appealing to me at this point. Maybe at some point down the road it will.
Yeah.
So I'm almost like in constant semi-retirement.
Yeah,
right.
Living that semi-retired life.
Well, exactly.
I thought
So
I thought they taught you guys that in chiropractic school, because every chiropractor I know is like, yeah, I've got a half day and a whole day and a no day, and I'm like,
yeah.
what?
Well, I think just the what's really ingrained to you, because we're dealing with health. And
Taking care of yourself.
Naturally, taking care of yourself. That you've got to build that in.
Mm-hmm. It's smart.
And we see patients all day. How many patients do you know that have worked their entire life? 65 they retire, and 66.
It's all broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No.
I don't want to do that.
Gotta have balance. Yeah, because I think that especially in the kind of work that we do, we give a lot of ourselves to people.
Oh yes.
And you have to like refill your tank.
Yeah.
And that's good that you do that.
Yeah.
And I don't think that, everybody needs that, but I think most people do.
Yeah, no, I agree, and our jobs, right? They're not physically taxing, but they're emotionally taxing,
Right, because you care.
Yeah, if you're there, like you listen to, however many patients you see in a day, there's a lot of stories that you hear, and and just by nature, I'm an empath, so it's like I kind of carry that with me, so. Having some a little more downtime built in, really helps, so you can give it to the next patient.
Yep, that's awesome.
So back to your CrossFit games, right? So last year didn't happen, right, because of
Correct.
COVID.
Yeah.
And but this year it's planned for September.
It's August, first week of August.
Yeah, and that's up in Wisconsin.
So they had a 5-year contract with. It was in Los Angeles for it's since its inception. Then 4 years ago they moved to University of Wisconsin. It's beautiful up there.
Yeah.
If they move it to Hawaii, I'm gonna come with you.
Be like support.
I'm gonna be your cheerleader. I'll be your water girl.
There is discussion of them. So every 5 years they move it around, and they said they would like to get maybe like more of like a ski town where you have like
fun.
some more of a mountainous terrain. It's because they really do in the programming like to incorporate sort of the natural surroundings. Like in Wisconsin, we have lake swims and obstacle courses, and in addition to like the
If they move it into
CrossFit
too
stuff.
high of an elevation, Bob, they're going to kill people. Though.
Well, and that's it. It can't be too high
I mean-
because of the oxygen deprivation.
Weird. Your body needs that
we
when you're
can't
working
really
out.
train for that here.
Yeah. They looked at Jacksonville, but the heat was just going to be too prohibitive in August.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I would have been fine with it. So
you're used to that. Yeah.
So
You're like,
there
I'll
you go.
take it. Yes, Jacksonville sounds good.
Yeah,
It's true.
But yeah, no, it's and really the CrossFit and chiropractic. There was a lot of crossover because to do CrossFit safely, you have to have great body mechanics, and I know it gets a bad rap, CrossFit, and we all see a lot of
injuries,
yes, injuries, and that's really for the most part. I'm not even talking too broadly, but when you add intensity before the foundations are there.
Right.
And by intensity, it's like heavy loads.
Yeah,
the moving patterns.
Not understanding that you have to do things incrementally.
Yeah, exactly.
And just because the guy next to you, who happens to be Bob, can lift that much doesn't mean you should try.
Exactly.
Right. And I think that probably, I think that it's, an awesome activity. But I think that a lot of times people feel, that are drawn to it are competitive.
Yeah.
And so then they get into a situation where it's almost like in the moment and you don't actually realize that you might be pushing or overdoing it. And then that's when it comes in. But it's still like an amazing sport.
Exactly. I mean, if you look at it, kind of compare it to a football team. A football team doesn't compete 6 or 7 days a week.
Right.
They compete 1 day a week.
Right.
They practice 3 or 4, and they work on technique 1 or 2, and there's recovery built in. So, you can't continue to draw
hammer
from
your body.
Exactly.
It needs a break.
Yep.
Yeah, and we've seen that before with people doing CrossFit. Like their inflammation goes up, and sometimes they can end up diabetic. And they're like, "I eat really well," and it's like, the stress on your body has raised your cortisol, and now your sugars are actually running high, even though you're not eating any like crazy sugary diet, And so, educating them on the physiology side of there is a reason that this is happening, and it's you just need to rest. Throw some rest days in there, and everything will be okay.
Yeah. And you're right too that what draws some people to that is they have that I've got to go 110% every day, and then it becomes a little more of a psychological issue.
Right, it does.
And so to tell them to back off a little bit, which I'll be the first, because I get asked, for back patients, do I need to give up golf? And my answer is no, but you probably need some swing lessons.
Yeah, modify.
Work the technique, and then you can continue
do some exercises to strengthen the core. Like the stuff to like the preventative.
Right.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
it's been through. This time has been kind of weird in general, and so we have missed each other a lot, even though we're in the same space. But I watch your Facebook page, and I noticed you're doing some cool patient education outreach. What is that? It's ChiroTrust. What is it?
Yeah, I mean it's simply just an educational tool that we utilize. I mean, you never know at what point. So the way we run our practice is kind of a pain management thing. You woke up with a stiff neck. You give me a call that day and come on in. There's not a lot of hoops to jump through. And so, we'll send out a lot of emails and the postings are just, like I said, just informational. And I think if you arm people with just the basics, and a lot of it is how to take care of things yourself too. So they don't necessarily become physician dependent.
Right.
Well, we talked to the physical therapist and the counselors about that and their philosophy on that topic exactly, and they kind of are in the same line. They're not going to keep people coming back unnecessarily, and you do the same. You treat them, you get them well, and they go on their way, and then if they need to come back, they know they're safe to come back without a lot of
barriers.
And
I think part of that is the competitive nature that I have too. I want to do things better and faster than the next guy.
Right.
So if somebody comes in with back pain, I don't know, it's kind of motivated me. So let's see how quick I can get this patient out of pain.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. And a lot of them are
appreciate
shocked.
it.
Yeah, a lot of them are shocked. When do I need to come back? I was like, when you
need
hurting.
to come back. Yeah.
That's right.
You'll be able to tell.
That's it. And I usually tell them, if something is lingering more than a couple 3 days, then maybe take a look at it. But give it a little bit of time. Your body's a pretty incredible machine. It figures out ways to kind of take care of itself if you let it.
i.e. shark bite.
Yeah.
I.e. shark.
I'm going to call you Shark Face Ooh La La from now on.
It's just
Oh
a
my
big.
gosh,
Yeah,
I haven't
funny.
seen that.
yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely.
So before we went on camera, what did you say about Bob wearing green today?
Oh, so with this green screen, you
Yeah.
can't wear green. And I thought, well, if Bob comes in here with green on, like,
Must be a floating head.
yeah, he'll
that
just
would
be a floating
interesting.
head, or yeah.
Della's like, oh no, I forgot to tell him. So that's always our standing thing. Like, did we remember to tell the guests to not wear green because we didn't want them to be like see-through? So,
Yeah, or have to take your clothes off.
or well, not everybody would be willing to do that. Bob perhaps wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I know all the pictures of Bob at home with the kids. They're all like running around without tops
Yeah,
on.
we don't do. It's less on laundry.
That's true.
Oh yeah, if you're not wearing
Guys,
shirts.
If Bob does that, we may get a lot of views.
And by the way, I am the laundry person at the house.
You are.
Yeah.
So that's why you're like no shirts for you. You like check them out.
That's it.
You get one a week.
One a week.
I like the checkout system. I'm going to do that too.
I've done that with towels.
I saw I think it was a TikTok where a teenage girl just a mess of a room, and the parents would have her clean it up, and then a day or two later, it's just like one of our children who will remain nameless at this point, but the parents just boxed up everything, and the child would have to go to them for one outfit
Yeah.
for clothes.
Yeah.
Okay, here's your outfit, and that's it for the day.
I'm going to have to do that with my daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
for
good
real.
idea.
I
I
like
find
that.
random like socks and like underwear, and it's in like a corner. Like what happened?
How did it
like
get
how did
there?
this happen?
I've become a minimalist, I guess. So the reason the house is probably picked up for having 5 kids is that if
They
it's
get
on
nothing.
if it's laying on the
Like it.
floor, and I tell them pick it up, I tell them once. Second time,
It's
gets
up.
boxed up.
Nice.
It's gone.
Yeah,
It's
So,
amazing.
Yeah, we're working through Legos pretty quick.
that's a good rule.
Yeah.
You can make some money on those things
Well,
too.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah.
They shut that down during COVID right now, where you can sell your blocks back to
Oh yeah.
Lego.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
That's
Bob, do you
awesome.
think that most of your patient, the population
Yeah.
panels that you take care of, is it mostly word of mouth? I mean, you've been here a long
Yeah.
time, so it's just built over years
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like growth that way.
All word of mouth. When we first started, particularly with the decompression therapy,
Yeah.
which we can talk a little bit about, but I was doing some advertising, I guess, just because it was a new technology, a new therapy.
Yeah.
But it's pretty known now. There are several tables in town, and but no, it's all word of mouth.
And you do, traditional chiropractic care. You do muscle stem.
Yeah, we do some ancillary therapies.
Yeah.
I guess one of the more popular therapies we do is the spinal decompression,
Yeah.
which is essentially a souped-up traction system.
Yeah.
And not to go too deep into the physiology of it, but essentially it's a traction system which works with the body's protective deep tendon reflex, and as a result, we're able to create negative pressures inside that disc. And when you do that,
Draw
thinking
stuff in.
Exactly right. You're essentially drawing that discal material back into the perimeter of the disc, and in addition, force feeding that disc oxygen and nutrient-filled blood, which the discs, they don't have direct blood supply themselves. That's why they're limited on how much healing they can do. It's kind of like the meniscus in your knees, right? Or ligaments, and so. If you can force feed oxygen into the disc, well, now it can create scar tissue, and it can capture and scar over the crack or the fissure, the opening that allowed that disc to herniate to begin with. So it is a 2-step forward, 1-step back process. But
We got comments.
Yeah. We love you,
Oh,
George.
Jorge. Thanks, Jorge. We appreciate it.
that's right. That's right. He was a big soccer fan.
Yes, he is for sure.
When I was in chiropractic college, I worked for a catering company, and this is in Atlanta, and we did an event for, I think they had the World Cup was here in the United States, wasn't
Nice. I don't know,
it?
but
It was, and so yeah, I got this shirt from I got a couple of shirts signed. Remember Lexi Lawless?
yeah, cool.
don't know if-
You're a cool guy.
I'm a cool guy, you know.
Yes.
That was one of the better events. So yeah, I got a picture with Lexi Lawless, who was a
Yeah.
U.S. soccer star, and then some cool pair of Adidas.
That's nice.
Still
Yeah, some
fancy.
velvet Adidas.
You do get some cool swag, I have to say. I've seen some of it over the years. It's like pretty nice stuff.
I do it for the swag.
Right.
That's why. That's all.
100%.
All it's for.
100%.
That's why you do you. Okay, that makes sense.
I haven't had to buy shoes or
In a while.
exercise equipment for a long time, maybe a year.
So, can you tell people how to get a hold of you and where to find you online?
Sure. Facebook, Innovative Back Solutions is the name of the practice, but I think Dr. Bob Ruano on Instagram. I'm on all the socials.
Oh, he's that. And the number for the office?
Telephone number 352-505-3993.
Nice.
Is this one a good website to reach out? The one on the screen?
The one on the screen.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
He likes it. He's a fan. All right, way to go, Elio. We appreciate you.
Can I talk a little bit about you? Do we have some time?
Yeah, we have a minute or two. Go ahead.
So, this is probably when we first met. This was I forget the year, but it was right before like the Portable Healthcare Act, and I'm not going to slam. I'm not going to get political with it, but so I had Blue Cross Blue Shield. $15,000 deductible, high deductible policy. It cost me like $750 a month. Well, once that Portable Healthcare Act went into effect, I lost that. And it went from $750 a month to $2,200 a month with the same $15,000 deductible.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
And so I found you guys and like $50 a month. Well, how much does this cost? And I'm like, no, it's $50 a month. Like, well, what about this? That's including the $50. I'm like, how are you guys making money?
Yeah.
We get that question a lot.
That's right. So I became a member. I met you through FARA, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. This is the way healthcare needs to be run and conducted, because it gives the responsibility back on the individual. And so when you guys treat somebody, you treat the individual. You're not treating the policy. Like,
right.
Oh, you're a Blue Cross Federal. We need to run some additional tests on you.
Yeah.
And you don't think that stuff goes on? That stuff goes on.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, anyways, I really appreciate what you guys put
Well, we
together.
appreciate you.
Yes, and we love having easy access to you and you taking care of our patients
Anytime.
a lot. Thanks a
Yeah,
lot,
of
Bob,
course.
for
Thank
being with
you.
us today.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yay.
We love you.
All right, so next week we're going to have Eric Godet with the Gainesville Chamber. He's a CEO. He's going to come talk to us about small business in Gainesville and how things have changed since COVID. And, we met him when he first took the role, and, he's been a big supporter of Celebrate, and we appreciate that. We want to thank Elio. You can watch you can watch past episodes on Facebook or on our YouTube channel, and we really appreciate you guys' support. And we will see you next week.
Thanks. Have a good week. Bye.